Welcome to Postgame Podcast. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B Foster with me. Before we get into this show, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube and follow us on all the podcast aggregators. That's Bleachers Speakers FFSN on those platforms. Just type that in your search. Make sure that a notification bell is on, and make sure you're following us. Download the episodes. Foster, we got a little bit of win streak going on, man.
Little something.
We winning in the Motor City today, man. Lions won, Pistons won. It's a good day. It's a very good day. The final was 124-109.
Yep.
And it was pretty much not a game that wasn't in doubt. They made a couple of runs to cut the lead down to 5 from double digits. It was like maybe Pistons might have had like a 12, 13-point lead, and they cut it down to 5 like twice, but they kept it at a safe distance. First half, they ended the half up 12 or 13 or something like that, and it just never got close for them. And Mr. Triple Double did his thing again. I'm gonna call him Mr. Triple Double till he stops doing these things. 21 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists for Mr. Cade Cunningham. And he had a little bit of help today. Ivy got crazy. He was hitting his outside shot. He was very active. Duran had some foul trouble early. At one point, he had like only 3 rebounds in the first half, and that was it. He wound up with 11 rebounds. And he was a very aggressive offensively trying to be in the second half. I don't have the stats with me though. Let me see what everybody else did. Foster, what you see today?
Yeah. Malik Beasley, like he might be playing some of the best brand of basketball he's played in
his
career. He's got 26. He had 26 tonight. Ivy had 28. This was a pretty well balanced effort. Like you said, Cade had a triple double, and that's becoming more and more, on brand with with his game. But yeah, our record is pretty good when we have 5-6 guys in double digits, and because we don't really have too many guys that just are capable of scoring 30 a night, but we do have a solid number of guys that can give you 12 to 14 points a night. And yeah, this team is dangerous. I mean, we are slowly learning how to win as a team. We have legitimate stars, legitimate veteran players, and we're only getting stronger. When Asar comes back, we are going to have a top tier defensive stopper, and that's only going to help us down the stretch when we have to, when we have to stop, when we need those stops, and we're going up against top tier offensive talent. We're going to have somebody that we can sick on anybody from 1 to 4, and we got scorers, we got shooters, we got Hardaway who's been hurt. Fontecchio came back today. He's slowly starting to get in a groove, and Wendell Moore, a guy that we didn't know anything about going into the year, is a solid player that's not going to play every day. He's not going to. When Hardaway comes back, when Thompson comes back, when Clintman comes back, he's going to have to really compete for minutes. But when we do have some injuries, when we need a little bit of depth, he can come in there and play a role. So I'm really excited with what we have going on right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of ecstatic about Mr. Beasley too, man. Beasley is out there. He's dancing during timeouts. He's being a vocal leader. He's hitting his open shots, and even when they close in on him, he'll take it to the rack. He'll get a bucket inside in the paint, and he's doing a little bit of everything. I spoke about Duran earlier. Like he had early foul trouble. He still wound up with a double double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Um, and that's what we need from Duran. We need a double double. I mean, that would be like a super bonus if he could do that on a regular, where we got a double double. Well, we know he's going to get his rebounds. We do know that.
Hmm.
Even with a bad first half of not rebounding the ball, he still wound up with a double double there. Um, and we still got some players to get back, but the Pistons are 7-8, and there's a reason why me and Foster are doing backflips right now with a 7-8 record. But
Hey,
uh,
especially in a not a country wisdom, but not especially in an Eastern Conference that has a lot of parity right now. You got a lot of teams that are just barely flirting with that 500 record right now. We are very much within that. Early on, it's early, but we are very much in that playoff realm right now. So um, looks
yeah.
good, and it's only going to get better. So.
Well, last year this time we were 2-13 out of the first 15
Oh,
games.
you looked that up?
Well, I mean, we do the math. We was 2-1 and we lost 28 straight.
Shit. Yeah.
So,
Okay. There you go.
so the first 15, we was 2-13. You know, and we're 7-8. So and I don't foresee us losing 28 games in a row this year. I just don't see it.
No.
Nah. I mean, and there's going to be some tough times during the season. It's going to be some games where we lose some games we shouldn't have lose. There are going to be some games where we just don't look like we belong. But I think we're headed in the right direction. Um, when this team is hitting shots, it's dangerous. When Cade is creating, and if this team can ever be more careful with the ball, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble because
And I think it's going to be few and far between that we just don't look that we don't you know where you say we just don't look like we belong or don't I think that's going to be few and far between. We've already
yeah,
got some.
for sure. I mean, but you're gonna have those games like the Knicks game. Like we know we're better than that, but if you look at the score, if you look during the game, it's like we're not that good. When we are that good, it just that particular night, it looked like we got a long ways to go. And I anticipate a night or two of that here and there, but that's not going to be a normal thing. It's like if you do have those kind of games, you're going to think something's wrong with the team. So it's not normalized for us to play like that and have those kind of results. I don't think so. I think what you're going to see more of are efforts like this versus teams that we know that we're capable of winning, and you're going to see uh, closer and more competitive games against those upper echelon teams. That's what I think you're going to see for the most part. Um, these guys actually starting to gain confidence. Um, we knew what you know. We knew Cade very confident. You knew Ivy could be confident, but this as a unit, they're gaining confidence, and we still got Thompson to bring back. So I don't know what the timeline is for him. I think now it's just a matter of him being in shape, um, uh, practicing and stuff like that. He's been cleared physically, so I anticipate he should be back on the floor within the next week or so. Just a
Yeah.
hunch.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that there's no use in throwing them in the game at the end of the week, but um, I mean, what better game to get them back into action than a home game and an upcoming home game? So, um,
And then on
yeah,
top of that, you might want to save him for a back to back like tomorrow or you know, because what happens is JB Bickerstaff, his MO back, before was, he had his 7 or 8 people, eight people that he pretty much played for most of the time. But I think with this team is built for more. Like you can go 10 deep. You can go 10 deep. You can rotate these players on, and NBA players will tell you, and it's just a back to back is kind of rough on them. You know,
Hmm.
it's and you can see it on the court. You can see some fatigue set in. You can see, and then especially if you have to travel, if you have a back to back game at home, it's a little bit different. But these guys are getting on the plane. They're getting showered, getting dressed, and getting ready for the airport so they can be back here probably tonight or early morning tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I really doubt if they're going to if they have a game tomorrow that they'll be flying tonight. They'll be here tonight. So it's kind of rigorous as far as the NBA with those back to backs. I remember hearing about back to backs, players complaining about back to backs when Isaiah Thomas is playing. How tough it is. So comes with the territory. Pistons win. One what was the score? 124 to 109. Does it
Yeah.
bother you that Washington scored 109 points for us?
You said what?
Does it bother you that Washington scored 109 points?
Well, first of all, it was 104, but yeah, I mean, no, not at all.
104. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Um, no, I mean, in a fast-paced game where you score a ton of points, you're certainly going to give them more opportunities at scoring as well. So, you beat a team by 20, NBA team by 20 points. You consider that a dub for sure. But I just like that we win games that we quote unquote are supposed to win, and we do it handedly. So. I'll take games. I'll take that because, like you said, those back to backs can be rigorous, and we still got some work to do. The Bulls have played pretty well this year, from what I know. So it's not going to be an easy one, and this is a divisional foe. So, but yeah, we pretty much we won on all aspects of the game. We shot well. I mean, they shot pretty good from three, but we took a lot more attempts. So although they shot 44% from three as well. We shot 11 more shots. But we're certainly developing an identity. I talked about this last time, but we're a team that's going to rebound very well. Um, and we're gonna hold them. You know, I think that defensively, it that's where that's our bread and butter right now is playing good defense, rebounding, and tonight, believe it or not, they doubled us up on the turnover side of things. We had 8 turnovers and they had 15, so just a little under double, but yeah,
I'm
we had
ecstatic about 8 turnovers. I'm very, very ecstatic about 8
Yeah,
turnovers.
I didn't have too many. I didn't have too many that I can recall. Within the game. But yeah, when we can make draw turnovers and create opportunities for ourselves, we're gonna be in a good way because we do have shooters that convert on those transition opportunities and I just can't wait till we have a guy like Asar Thompson who inevitably I believe that he is going to be very rusty offensively to start. He wasn't good offensively to begin with, but his defensive instincts is something that that's going to click for him first. But
Yeah.
um,
He's
I'm
gonna rely on that probably too. He's gonna hang his hat on that, and he should.
Yeah, and he always has,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, he's. I'm curious to see what that shot looks like, though. You see how much more confident Jaden Ivey has been shooting the ball.
He had a
He,
deep 3 with time running down, and I think that was the first half. He hit a deep 3, and I was like, "Whoa."
yeah, he's just feeling it.
Yeah.
Um, he's just super confident. I mean that's the way he played when he came out of Purdue. He was very confident, and
Mhm.
he's definitely back in that bag. So, um, yeah, he had what 20? What did they say? 28 points tonight. Yeah, 28 points tonight.
Yeah, 28,
That's
yeah.
and 7 assists too. So
Yeah, he had a key bucket at the end of the half, and, he was hanging, and I thought it was an and one, but,
I thought
when
so too. It was
when
kind of an awkward angle, but yeah, it looked like an and one.
yeah, and, it was just, he finished, and I was like, "That's the Ivy I'm looking for. That's the one, the aggressive, going to the rack, hitting his outside jumper." I mean, he can be hell in a basket, you know what I'm saying? So, I think as much as I fuss about turnovers and not having a true point guard, I think Cade and Ivy is our backcourt of the future, and, I look forward to them growing and getting better, uh, playing together. Uh,
Sasser looked good tonight too.
Sasser, Greg Kessler said something, and he was like, for a person that didn't get a lot of playing time, when he's called upon, he puts on. So it's very easy to get discouraged, but when they called his number, ever since they called his number, he's been going in there and he's been doing his thing. So very good to see. Fontecchio was 2 from 5 from 3-point land. I people will say, "Oh, he's only 2 for 5." I'm very, very happy about that 2 for 5. He was off for a minute. And that's 40%. That's 40%. So, hey, if he can shoot 40% the rest of the season from 3, that's considered elite.
It
Um,
is. It is.
so, hey, you know, shoot 2 for 5 every night. I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, let's see, who else? I mean, you know what I noticed, Foster?
Mm.
Bagley don't get no tick for them.
Bro, I was like, is he because he had his knees wrapped for 90% of the game. I'm like, is he hurt? But yeah, he got in during garbage time, and I think he got a couple buckets.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think they play Alex Sarr more. But honestly, I'm pretty sure that Bagley is a better. Well,
You would
in
think.
so check this out. In 4 minutes, he had 4 points, and Sarr had 4 points in 24 minutes. So you tell me what that looks like.
You would think. I mean, he could have stayed here and sat on the bench.
Yeah, real.
I was very high on Bagley. I'm like, yeah, when we got him, I'm like, yeah, this is what we need. And it just didn't work out.
He was okay though.
He was
He was
okay.
okay.
I mean, he was okay, but
When we first got him, but Cade makes a lot of people look good. So, um, because he puts Duran and Stewart in some pretty good situations as well. So,
man, he gave
I mean, Bagley was
Duran
a
a
lot of
bounce
picks. So
pass.
you
He
said
gave
what?
he gave Duran a bounce pass going to the basket for a dunk, and I was like, that was a beautiful pass.
The lefty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk more Pistons. So yeah, I mean, Cade is becoming a distributor. And tonight he had this little he had the mindset, I'm going to the I'm scoring in the paint. He backed down his defender quite a few times, and he was just going to the rack. And I love when he doesn't settle for a jump shot. You
Yeah.
know, love when he doesn't settle for a jump shot, and he's still not getting calls going
No,
to.
he just
But
doesn't get them.
you know what I say? Keep. At some point, you'll get those calls.
Yeah, I mean, when you become an all-star, I mean, what
Yeah,
what else are they gonna do?
yeah. Some point, there was a time when D Wade, when he was playing with Shaq, he would get every call going to the rack. Like you barely touch him, they're calling it, and he would hit every single free throw.
Mhm.
It was like it was a problem. It wa Wade was a problem at one point. Like he get every single call, and that was early in his career. He was getting those calls. It was crazy,
He was a
kind of crazy.
champion by then. He won his first championship before LeBron got there.
Yeah, he won it with Shaq. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, him and Shaq won, and it was. But that particular, they played the Mavericks, and during that, he was the MVP. Like during that series versus the Mavs, they called if he went through the hall to the rack and they looked at him funny, they blew the whistle.
Yeah.
And he was a 90% free throw. He was knocking every single one of those free throws down. Dallas didn't have a chance in hell.
Hmm.
But yeah, getting back to us, getting back to these Pistons, I 7-8. We have a chance to be 500 um with a win tomorrow. I don't want to get too high on it, and then I don't want to get too low if there is a loss. I just know this team is vibing. They're getting better. They're the effort is there. Like they and then um this is one of the one of the rare games this year where it's a blowout on our end. Like we played some very, very tough, competitive, close games, in the wins. They haven't been blowouts. They've been really, really close.
Yeah.
The Toronto game, close. The Atlanta Hawks game, close. Uh Miami, close. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It was just those kind of games. Uh, but it just goes to show, like even during the but if you notice during the losing streak last year, there was some close games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
games where we was like, man, we could have won this. It wasn't just that we were totally outmatched every game. It was certain points of the game, last 3 or 4 minutes where we just let it go. So it was kind of crazy. Yeah. But I'm glad, because didn't you used to feel sorry for Cade last year during that streak? Like he'd be at
Oh
the
yeah, when I was watching the game, I was like, we used to see some because they were kind of chilling and vibing on the sideline,
yeah,
and we saw a lot of long faces and sadness last year. So
man.
it feels good. It's got to feel good for them. Yeah, it was like I think it was like Cade Stewart and some other people, but it's got to feel good to just put some wins under your belt and
Yeah,
and and just be able to chill out on the sideline a little bit. It's going to do wonders for the confidence in general to be a respectable. I mean, they like to dog Detroit as a city anyway. But
yeah,
the way they talked about the Pistons last year, I felt some kind of way. Like it bugged
man.
me. Oh yeah,
You,
the
you know
Pistons
who pissed me off? It was Kyle Kuzma. Remember
corner.
when he said, "Oh, we ain't losing to them, not
Now
them."
we now we bust they head because we beat them last year, didn't
Yeah,
we?
I mean the first game they won, and that's when he was like, "Oh, we ain't losing to them, not them." And they had just as bad of a
They
record
were
as we did.
terrible too. Yeah, they were like right. We were right there with them. Like
I
yeah,
said, the nerve of this guy
from Michigan.
from Michigan, from
Corner.
Flint, supposedly. I think Grand Blanc, but yeah. Um,
NBA champion. NBA champion though.
is that the bubble?
The bubble. That was a bubble. That was a bubble.
Well, I don't want to give him that much credit. Yeah. It's just, but yeah, he was one of those ones that made me mad. And I don't know if you remember, Foss, but the record for losses in a row was 25.
Hmm.
And when we lost 28, so we broke that record. But at the end of that 25th game, that was a close game. That was a close game. And I remember Cade sitting at the press conference, and he was just like, he looked like he was about to cry. And he was like, I just know we're not this bad.
Yeah, come on, man. He knows.
I just know we're not this bad. And then he just had this look of discouragement in his face. And I'm thinking, hurry up and resign him. He's gonna go.
Yeah, before we take off. Yeah,
you know, do something, bro. I felt so bad for him, man. I mean, we went through that season, man. I want to salute you, bro, because like when you're doing this podcast stuff, and you depend on a co-host, right? You liable to have somebody leave. You know what I'm saying? And during that season, to go 14-68 and reporting every week of the losses, it became, you know, it's a lot to do. It's a lot to do. Luckily, we had the Lions last year to be happy about,
Yeah, we
but
did.
still, to go through an entire season without stopping, without wavering, without saying we're not going to do any more shows. We continue to do shows all the way up to the end of the season, into the off season, into uh, the draft and free agency, and doing the player profile, saying who the Pistons. I mean, I salute you, man, for hanging in there and partnering with me through that journey. My boy is in the building. Mr. My City says, B, that hat is fire. First of all, man, we're not gonna do
Appreciate
that, man. We're not gonna give Foster no more props than he already asked. First of all, it's the
it.
teal.
Hey,
First of all, it's the teal. Let's start there.
hey,
We're not wearing the teal. Okay. Okay. I hated the teal era. No, we're not doing the teal. The hat is fire, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I like your hat too, Joe.
Yeah, you know, it
Mr.
is.
Bleachers to speakers, Joe.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I was post game podcast last in the Lions game, so it's all good.
It's all good. It's
A
all
little
good.
reverse.
Yeah, not bad. But the hat is fire. I give you that. Even though it's teal, it's dope. I didn't
It's a,
like the teal era, man.
yeah. Even last year when we wore teal, we were trash. So
Yeah, yeah. Did you like the burgundy uniforms?
I did. I like the
Burgundy was
green.
fire to me, though.
I like the green burner ones.
Well, that's not. That's
The
that's
Saint
that's not.
Cecilia. That's
That's not.
classic. If you know anything
That's not.
about Detroit hoops, the Saint Cecilia was like that's like top
Yeah.
top tier.
Don't push it. Don't push it though, Foster. No, we didn't. We're not doing that. Mr. My City says Beasley is the truth, man. Just what we needed. Ivy balling out of his mind. You know what? And the thing is, Mr. My City, I was one of those ones when when we acquired Beasley, Foster was hype about it. I'm like, I guess. I mean, we got somebody to come here, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
crazy.
I didn't think too highly of it. It is what it is, man. Yeah, he started in Milwaukee while Dame was out. Well, oh well, yeah, that was me. But I am glad he is here and he's showing out. I think they showed how many threes he had, and at this point in the season, and he's one of the leaders in the NBA as far as 3-point shooting.
Yeah,
Three point made.
he averaged like 200 a year, and him and Hardaway were like, I think it was him and Hardaway that are like tops in the it were like tops in the league last year because they shoot him in such high volume. So yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
does.
And what I noticed the last 2 games, Hardaway has been there. He's just been in street clothes, and he's
Yeah,
the first one off the bench at a timeout when they're doing something good. So it's good to see he's okay.
he's feeling good. It looks like he's feeling good. He's got staples in his head. I don't know if they're out yet, but they
Yeah.
said that he had staples in his head. So he's
I mean, I just want him to be functioning because the way they took him off they took him off in a wheelchair, and
he was
uh
concussed. I'm sure.
yeah, you can see his father, Tim
Yeah, that
Hardaway
was
Sr. going
yeah.
to the locker room, and I'm like, "Oh, man, this is serious. This is serious." Mr. My City said, "Yo, the horse days just remind me of all the times we lost to the Hawks in the first round. Hated Mookie Blaylock and Ty Corbin, Mutombo. Rest in peace, Mutombo. Steve Smith. Yeah.
From
Um,
Detroit, Steve Smith.
yeah, went to Pershing High School, Michigan
Yeah, he
State.
did.
He's
He's
one of my favorite college players, Steve Smith. Yes. Uh, Mr. My City said, rough years watching Grant, Joe, and Lindsay lose. Yeah. Yeah. The Alkaline Healer. Welcome to the show, bro. I don't remember seeing you, but I appreciate you and for being here. The Alkaline Healer says the contributions from Beasley, THJ, and Tobias this year is the X factor. Yes, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Uh, and you know what I noticed?
mm,
When Tobias doesn't have to do everything,
yes,
and he'll hit some clutch shots. He will.
here
But
and
when
there.
you don't have to depend on him, this team is a whole lot better when everybody else. Now he'll get you a tough bucket when you need it,
Yeah,
but when he doesn't have to have 20, 30 points,
Yeah.
we're in good shape.
You don't want him being the focal point.
No.
He's just a little step behind,
Yeah.
But yes, he can. I wish we. One thing that I wish we had was a little bit more depth at that forward position, um,
Yeah.
because I'm just not crazy about seeing him a ton. But he contributed. He had a nice little block on Poole earlier today. He hit a corner three, but you don't want to depend. I mean, I know you're paying him a whole
No,
bunch of money, and you would love for him to score 20 points a game, but that's just not him. It's just
that's
gonna.
not him.
He's just
You
not
you
gonna.
don't you don't wanna do I mean, you have enough scores, on this team to where you don't have to depend on him. You know, I like when he starts off shooting, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably gonna get your first bucket or, you know what I'm saying, probably hit your first 3, but when he doesn't have to constantly do it all game, because it seems like he kinda loses a little bit of steam going into the 4th, but, when he's just doing his thing and everybody else is doing their thing, this team is gonna be okay. This team is gonna be okay. And like I said, we still got Mr. Thompson. I'm very high on Arcee Thompson. I mean, not the shooting. The shooting is something to be desired, but the athleticism and his defense and his mentality. You need a dog out there, and I think he's a dog. So, yeah, this team is only gonna get better, and we're 7-8, almost at 500. Um, like I said, last year we were 2-13 at this point, and en route. And I hate to keep bringing it up, Foster, but we was en route to a 2-29 start. So
Oh my god,
yeah, it's
terrible.
yeah. So that's why it's okay to smile. It's okay to be hyped because of what we went through last year. So we're going to take every win with a grain of salt, and we're going to take these little moral victories as well. And I think tomorrow night we're going to be 8-8.
I can see it. It's gonna be a fight, though. It's definitely
We
gonna be a
haven't
fight.
we haven't beaten the Bulls since the beginning of last year. They were one
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
teams.
yeah, yeah. When Levine dropped 50 on us,
Yeah, don't. Uh, we won that game though.
we won the game. Hey,
We won that game, but man, he was going crazy, and they're trying to push Levine off so bad. They will get rid of him in a heartbeat if the right suitors come along. And I remember they were saying the Pistons was going to get him at the end of the year, and he chose to do surgery instead. Yeah, I'm circling this game for tomorrow. Get Alsar Thompson out there and let him play defense on him for 48 minutes. Yeah.
hey, I, this. I feel like this is if there was ever a game that you debut home game back to back, like you said, um, opportunity to go 500. Yeah, this is it.
The Alkaline Healer says Ivy and Cade is doing what we all knew that what they were capable of, and on the commitment on the defense from Duran, Ivy, and Stu is our ankle. Yeah, anchor. Yeah, Stu is being Stu, man, and he's definitely got my respect. Um, his attitude, his toughness. He does a little bit of everything. Um, yeah, Stu definitely has earned my respect. Mr. My City says we are coached better this year. We're going to handle business tomorrow. Can you say 3-game win streak? Oh my gosh, a 3-game win streak would be right what the doctor ordered. Uh, yeah, 3-game win streak. You know what, Foster? Uh, if they win 3 in a row. What's the next game after Chicago?
It's the Charlotte Hornets, I believe. Yeah, so
Okay.
we have the Charlotte
We
Hornets.
owe, we owed, and that's here, right?
No, no.
We
So
owe them.
yeah, what was the last? What was the one we lost? Was that in Charlotte too? I feel like.
That was in Charlotte.
Yeah, so it's another one in Charlotte, and then we got the Magic, which should be tough, but Ban Carroll won't be playing. So
How long is he? Is he out for an extended long amount of time?
Yeah. He's out for like at least a month or something like that.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. It happened versus the Bulls. They were trying to say that they were dirty. Whatever happened.
Don't worry, don't worry, Magic. We'll take care of that for you tomorrow.
Yeah. Right. So
They
yeah, we
play
got.
dirty. They won't be leaving up out of Detroit tomorrow. I tell you that.
Hey, I mean, we got because Holland. Hey, Holland got a loose screw too, man.
Yeah. He was sneaking on the court when he had 5 other players on there. The screw was
Man,
pretty
yeah,
loose that night.
yeah. He's not
Yeah.
supposed to be tech for many different reasons. So
Troy says, "Yo, fellas, this team looks legit." Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about it. We beat the Lakers earlier a few games ago. We should have beat Charlotte, and we win versus Charlotte. We're already at 500.
yeah, we had a couple of ones, but we're learning to win, and the team's getting stronger. So um, long year ahead, but we've got some building. We've got some things that we can build on. So um, I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. My City said we ain't giving up another CHA. Pretty confident in Charlotte. We're pretty confident we'll win both games. Orlando is going to be a final second game, even without Banchero. We'll see. That's a deep, bold prediction. A final second game.
They're deep though. They are. Yeah, Orlando's a deep team. Yeah, I would be disappointed if we lost to Charlotte again.
Franz Wagner been balling for them.
Has he? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
been balling.
he got that big check too. So.
Yeah, we need Killian to knock him out again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Jeez, the one shining moment, the one toughness.
The one good thing he did while he was a Piston, man. He wasn't playing that. Um, Troy says Beasley is playing great, looks happy, having probably the biggest role in his career. We're relying on him heavily. Yes. I mean, you can tell like he's dancing during timeouts. He's talking, he's flexing. It's like, okay, talk your stuff, man. Mr. My City says, yeah. I was just about to say that. I mean, I was one that was like, man, it's just Beasley, man. Okay, we got Beasley for what was it, 1 year deal, 6 million. So now I'm hoping they offer him an extension.
Very, yeah, valid, very valid.
Yeah. Go ahead, lock him down, man. Lock him down, man. And then you gradually bring Hardaway back, and you let Beasley start until then. Yeah, that's what I like to see.
I don't think you take. Can you take him out of the starting lineup at this point?
Not the way he's been playing. No. Let me ask Mr. My City that. Mr. My City, when Hardaway Jr. comes back, do you bench Beasley? Do you bring him off the bench, or do you leave him in the starting rotation? I vote that he starts. Mr. My City says, "Yo, the flex after the dump had me dead over here." Yeah, for sure.
He kind
And
of got
Troy,
up there. I've never seen him get up like that.
yeah, Troy says, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind 3 more years of Beasley. Man, just go ahead and get him a contract extension. Go ahead. The money's there."
Well, 15 piece sound.
Yeah, the money's there. We got money. Go ahead. I mean, it's like this. We mentioned this before. Detroit has not been a hotbed for free agency.
Right.
So when you get someone here, you keep them here.
That wants
Right?
to be here.
Yeah. Like you did with Cade. Cade was drafted here. You know what you got with him. Keep him here. You're going to do the same thing for Ivy. You're going to do the same thing for Beasley, and hopefully you do the same thing for Duren. You keep the core here. You keep the core here because you're not getting these big time free agents. Because soon as free agency, it's you hear about teams like Philly, Los Angeles, the Lakers, the Knicks. You hear about those teams, Golden State. You hear about what I'm saying, teams, players going to those teams, and we got 10 people in the building watching, Foster. We're doing something right. We're doing something right. It's good. Welcome if you're listening, if you're watching. We appreciate you being here. And while you're all here, make sure you subscribe to Bleacher Speakers on YouTube. Follow us on all the podcast aggregators, Bleacher Speakers FFSN. Make sure you have the notification bell on. Download those episodes. Yeah, we got some more comments. Troy says, I really hope we keep the core. The alkaline healer says, we will be 5th to 7th seed going into the playoffs this year. Woo, Lord.
He said,
I was hoping for a play-in, right? And I thought that was reaching. Mr. My City answers my question. He says, you do not bench Beasley right now. Let Hardaway have his role off the bench until Beasley slumps off. Where's Anthony Alsir Thompson at when he becomes a starter again? The 4? I think Tobias is the starter at 4. I think I don't think you move him out of the 4. He's been holding up pretty well, even defensively. He's been doing okay at the 4. So you don't I think Thompson is one of those people you bring off the bench as well. I think when Thompson comes back, I think Holland his role reduces. I think that's what's going to happen. And especially if he comes back and plays pretty well. Troy says nobody does these Pistons lives and everybody wants to see these. You guys are doing great stuff. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Hold on. Just like I said, Troy agrees with me. All-Star is taking Holland's role. Yes. I mean, they're kind of like the same player. Yeah. So, and Mr. Mindset said, if y'all don't subscribe, your goldfish is going to die.
I've heard that before. I've actually heard that before.
Yeah, so. We got to protect the fish. Protect the fish. Troy says, I'm sorry, Holland made me so mad losing the Bucks game. Look, man, he had one job. And you know what's crazy? He's a 90% free throw shooter.
That was wild.
And then the following game, the next 2 free throws, nothing but net. And I'm like, you son of
young guy.
I forgot to mention that game. We should have won that game. We should have beat the Bucks. We should have beat the
I'm past that. I'm just trying to be past that.
That's 2 games we should have won. Boss, think about it. If we beat
Hornets game too,
the Hornets game, if we get the rebound, they don't get that put back with point whatever seconds left on the clock. And if you hit those free throws, more than likely we win that game. And instead of being 7-8, we would be 9-6.
That's okay.
It's not okay.
It's past. It's past us now.
I mean, nothing we can do about it. Well, I'll just say it. I just want to be. Let me be dramatic, Foster. This is what I do, man. Hey, it's the toxic. I'm toxic like that, Let's take a quick break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back in like 6 seconds. So the Pistons play. Are you going to the game tomorrow night?
I don't know. Probably not. I'll find another.
I was gonna say, if you were gonna go to the game, I would stay and hold the fort down for the show tomorrow. Even though we're not hosting or anything like that, we hosted last week. And if you're watching, we have a Central Division Showdown show with representatives from the Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're looking for a Milwaukee Bucks representative and the Indiana Pacers representative to be on the show with us. But we have that show every Monday night around 8. And so if you can tune in, you'll catch us there. And yeah, I mean, that's a dope show. And then it just so happens that we're playing the Bulls tomorrow night, and we get, and they don't talk a lot of trash. They just, Tate will slip some jabs in there every now and then. He's a Cleveland Cavalier. They ain't lost a game. He's going to come from the winner's circle, of course.
Can't imagine that. Just going to win all the games. Okay, I guess.
forget Cleveland. And I don't mean I really want to say something else, but forget Cleveland. Mr. My City says that Troy, we can't be too hard on him. He gets the rookie pass on that. JB said he needed that moment, and it's true. Ivy missed that buzzer beater last season and hurt him bad. Looking at Ivy now, just saying. I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna be nice. Yeah,
Be nice. Jeez.
yeah. I mean, it's over. It's over. I mean, the game's it's more. It's merely water under the bridge.
A lot of games left. A lot of opportunity.
He better not miss no more though in the clutch. I'll tell you that. Or he's out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Mr. My City rookie's going to rookie. Yeah. No. Yeah, those, and looking at it, those were probably the biggest free throws of his entire basketball career. He's probably been playing basketball since he was 6. And those are probably the 2 biggest free throws he's ever taken in
He
life.
didn't even play in college. He didn't even have like the March Madness and all that type of excitement going on. So yeah, for sure. And his team was terrible. His elite team. What's the name of that team? Whatever. Ignite. Yes, they were awful. So they didn't even play too many close games.
Yeah. So, Troy says, "I hear you, my city, but a professional basketball needs to make at least one there." And that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. But we let's not just we won tonight. We won tonight. The game is gone.
He's got some growing up to do for sure. He missed out on some minutes, opportunities to get minutes earlier in the game today because he got attacked very, very early in the game, and the coach pulled him because he lost his cool, which he's done a few times. So he's 20 years old. We got to give him some grace to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it is what it is, man. That game, but it shows. We could have really won versus a 59-point effort from Giannis, along with the other big guy. He had 28. Most teams, if you give up 87 points between 2 players, you're probably going to lose that game. Because it's just, that's just 59. That's an incredible feat. And it would have been in vain if we hit those free throws. So yeah, it is what it is. That if you want to take something good out of that, we should have won that game. And the Bucks have been playing great since Giannis has gotten back. So Lions and Pistons. Mr. My City said the Lions and Pistons won by 20 plus. Last time that happened was, man, I don't know. Troy says Duran has consistently been getting in foul trouble this year. Yeah, that's true. And he's also says he's concerned about Duran. Troy also says it was a good day, Mr. My City. So yeah, let's not dwell on those free throws that he should have hit versus Milwaukee the other day. The Lions.
Are we not?
I'm trying to move on, Foster. I'm trying to move on.
You mentioned it.
The Lions won today in blowout fashion, and the Pistons won today in blowout fashion. We're not gonna ruin this. We're not gonna ruin this. You see that background? You see that Isaiah Thomas jersey in the center? It is Detroit Day tonight. We won those games. The Lions are 9-1, and we're playing Indianapolis. We're gonna be 10-1 after that. Who was it? Was that Troy who had those predictions about the scoring? He said,
he said 2 each for Gibbs and my.
Yeah, let's take a timeout right now and give Troy a shout out for his. Was it him or Mr. My City? One of them said
it was Troy, but Gibbs didn't get 2. He just got 1, but J-Mo did.
But he predicted that J-Mo would get. He said Gibbs would get 2,
And Smith will get a sack, he said too.
He said Smith will get sacked. He said somebody else will get 2. Was it St. Brown or was it
I
Demo?
think he said that. I think he said that Gibbs and Montgomery would have two apiece, which was
Yeah.
like, but
Montgomery had 2.
yeah, Montgomery
Jalen
had
had 1. So it was pretty close. It
pretty
was
slow.
pretty close. Yeah. Mr. My City says, yeah, Duran is definitely not living up to my expectations coming into the season. He needs to protect his ankles, so fragile. Need to be high top sheets for some.
That's hilarious. You know how high those shoes are?
There will be no Patrick Ewing shoes on the Pistons court. I'm sorry. We're not doing that. Almost had it, and Monty needed one more. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Did Gibbs have two?
I thought Monty had 2.
I
Monty
thought
had
Monty
2
had two.
rushing. Gibbs only had 1.
Yeah.
I think Gibbs needed 1 more. Monty had 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an all around great effort by the Lions and the Pistons tonight. Troy says Cade and Tobias are taking Duran's rebounds this year. However, Duran is still rebounding very well. At half, he had like 3 rebounds, and I said, "There's no way he's going to piss some people off with their parlays tonight because he's not going to get any rebounds." And he wound up with 11. Uh, Cade has been 21, 10 rebounds and 10 assists. He's getting his boards. And what we noticed, he didn't do much tonight as far as blocking shots, but he's been blocking shots a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, like he's like a lot lately. And so I didn't know if he had any blocks tonight, but he's been defending very well. And that's something that I wish Duran would be more of a shot blocker. Um, there was somebody else again that scored over and one, a guard.
Poole. It was Poole.
Yeah,
I remember the play.
yeah. So, I mean, most shot blockers, you don't get that off. You just don't get that off.
Not a 6'3" guard. I mean, damn.
No, no. Troy says, wow, K with a double, triple double. He's really doing it all consistently. At the beginning of the show, Troy, I was calling him Mr. Triple Double. Mr. Triple Double. And he looked like he had a quiet game.
Yeah.
It looked like a quiet game. I had to look at the stats and like 21, 10, and 10. That ain't quiet by any means. That's a dope, great effort by anybody in this league. 21, 10, and 10. And he had a lot of support with Ivy having 28 and Beasley with 26. I mean, your backcourt damn near counted for 80 points. 80, 90 points. So it's like you just, that's all you can ask from them. Mr. My City says Stu needs more help crashing the boards. He can't do it all by himself. We won the rebound battle tonight, but we can't keep it up consistently every team not Washington. And yeah, I do agree with that. As far as Washington is probably the worst team in the league as far as their record. And you're going to have a lot of statistically, you're going to win like the turnover battle. They turned the ball over 15, 16 times. We only turned it over 8, which any other game where when we only had 8 turnovers, we're ecstatic, right? But we got to look at it. It's Washington. You know what I'm saying? They probably don't force a lot of turnovers and they commit a lot of turnovers. So if we can take care of the ball good versus and force turnovers, if we can force turnovers versus the other teams in the league like we did tonight, then we'll always have a fighting chance. Troy said Oscar will help with the rebounds when he gets back for sure. Oscar does a lot. He does a lot. He's and where he lacks in scoring, he does a lot in other areas. Mr. My City says saw Stu get frustrated because of no help a few times tonight. Inexcusable when everyone is capable. Yeah. And the thing is that box out versus Charlotte, needed a rebound there. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to watch some tape and and get with it and talk about it on the communication end. It's all communication too, and a rebound is all effort. You know what I'm saying, and paying attention to detail. If you when that shot goes up, you had to box. You had to box out. You had to box out. That's textbook. That's just nothing that's not going to change. They got rules for going over the back. So as long as you're boxing out, you're going to get the rebound. Um, but Mr. Mike said, he said, but a dub's a dub. Foster, I think it's about that time for you to put a bow on this, and we call it a night. There's still Sunday night football on. I don't know who's playing.
It's the I forgot.
Chargers versus somebody.
Bengals?
Maybe.
Yes. But yes, to put a bow on the to put a bow on the game, you just saw levels of talent. You know, the Wizards have a very young team. They have all of the they have a couple Pistons castaways such as Sadiq Bey, who looked just sick the entire. I mean, he's hurt obviously, but he just looked sick the entire game. Of course, I'm sure he wanted to come in there and show up his old team, but yeah, Bagley and Livers, who I think is hurt too. But yeah, there was definitely a level of talent there. They got a lot of rookies that are playing right now. They got Kaishan George and Alex Sarr and well, just a lot of young guys on the team. You got guys like Kuzma who think they're important now that they've left the Lakers. So yeah, it was nice to just dominate the game and give our players some opportunities to not play super hard, super tough minutes tonight. But yeah, we got another game coming up in tomorrow back in Detroit, and hopefully we can put have another solid effort. So yeah, win games that you're supposed to win. And just continue to build on the success that we're having, because this is a team that should compete all the way down to the very end for a possible play-in / playoff spot. This team looks legitimate with not very many glaring, just glaring weaknesses. We don't have too many of those, honestly.
Yeah. So I just want to say, and with this 2-game winning streak, I haven't done that in the middle of a show, and I don't know how long. So yeah, so we're in the right direction. I want to thank everybody for checking us out, listening to us, watching us. That's it, man. Subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube.